Okay, so I'm gonna show the first things that I do here, and one of the ways I cut down on time is I don't do any prime anymore. I don't prime. A couple of reasons. A, it takes time. B, it takes money. C, it's real stinky, and I'm not great with airbrush, so I use spray paint. And then it gets too thick and it takes away a lot of the detail. And this is a huge model. It probably wouldn't be so bad for this. But, that's what would be the point of showing the paint to play in prime. So I'm not gonna. I'm gonna throw it on here. I use the high flow acrylic and wash, and that's all I do. So I'm gonna start by just doing some silver. There's a little can right there. I'll throw a little silver there. Shake her up really well. I got these little whoop whop whoop whop whoops. Throw a little bit in there, and then get the painting. This is for Marvel Zombies. This is the Sentinel Strike, and these three minis are humongous. Let's show them. Huge bungus. Just to give you an idea, this is what the regular size minis are for this game, and these are humongos. But I'm gonna start with this guy right here. So I usually don't do a ton of colors on these. I just use crappy brushes. These aren't anything great. And I do use my goggles because I'm half blind anyway. But other than that, what I don't do is sweat the small stuff. I'll tell you that much. I just slap some on here. So this is a barrel. I'm just gonna slap some paint on here. And if I get a little bit outside the lines, I don't care. I don't really care. I am painting these to play, baby. I want to play some games. And the most important thing is I'm just trying to accentuate the details of the sculpt itself, Like somebody went to a lot of work to make these sculpts, and then I paid a lot of money to have them. I don't really feel like paying even more to have somebody, do a good job and make them look beautiful. I'd rather just spend 5-10 minutes and rinse these off in between colors. Next I think I'm gonna throw some plain old gray down here. Shake them up real nice. They got the metal balls in there to help shake it, baby, shake it. And then just throw it all over them there Rizzox. With a little bit thicker brush this time, because nobody got time for that. Okay, so I'm just gonna throw it on here, and whatever happens, happens. I'm tired. I've been up for a minute. If I get super sloppy, I'll clean a little bit off, but I don't care that much. Just kind of throw it in there, and whatever happens, happens, And I don't get real caught up in colors or color scheme. Not right now. Not in paint to play. Like I said, we're not. My main hobby is playing the games, baby. I want to play the games. We'll get together with my friends. And sometimes even people, maybe I don't even like them. But I do want to get together with them. And for a few hours, play some games, you know? You don't have to like everybody you play games with. God knows not everybody likes me. I don't even like me half the time when I'm playing games, and I've got some unrealized dopamine. I get a little pissy. You know how that gets. You're all set up for this dopamine hit, and then some jackanapes cuts you off. You're like, no sir, you will not be getting that dopamine, not today. You know, that's not any fun. But you move on. Maybe next game you get a little dopamine. It's all good, because at least you're playing the game, hanging out with human beings. You guys remember a few years ago when we couldn't hang out with people? Yeah, that sucked. But now we can hang out with people again. So, let's appreciate that. Because really, it can be taken away at any time. I'm already hearing the people in the back. Oh, it's not covered at all. You should have used primer. Like, yeah, okay, well, let's wait till we're done, and then we'll take a look and see if doing all those extra steps and time and money would be worth it when we're just trying to play the game. These are already humongous to begin with. They're going to take extra time. Regular mini might only take a few minutes. This one might take 10 or 15. We'll see. That's why we're doing it. We're gonna time it, baby. Just the base alone on this is taking, feels like it might take 10 minutes. But it's a big one. So when we get, I know I don't have the best setup right now. Someday maybe, if these are well received at all and people care. People want a little something different than the big time model painters. People want to see a total hobby system and enjoy that, paint to play and all this stuff that we're doing. I'll get better stuff as we go, maybe. So, if you really want to, before you do the wash, you can come back and get another thin coat, because that's what really this comes down to. This high flow acrylic is just like doing a couple of thin coats instead of a big old thick juicy primer. I said, and if you miss a little bit, who cares? We're gonna come back and do a nice wash and then a polish later. And that's when stuff gets super sexy. What I will want to do is I'm gonna rinse my little crappy little brush off. Just rinse off a little cap here. And I'll wipe it clean. Okay. And I'm going to come back to my silver. And I'm just going to, since this is sat here and dried for a little bit, I'm going to come back and get another. Just kind of float. Just get it on there. It'll dry thin. We can kind of just cake it on. Okay. All right, that's that. And now, what I'll do is I'll just kind of look at the picture. I'm going to keep the pinks pink. And I'll do the small things first. So the face, I'm going to do this and this. The face and the little arc reactor type deal there. I'm just going to do this little iridescent copper. Just gonna wipe this out real quick. Boop, good as new. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby, shake it. Okay. If you see the hairs that are everywhere, that's what happens when you have a bunch of cats. Sometimes you get some cat hair. And by sometimes I mean all the time. All the time. Cat hair everywhere. Okay, so for these, I'm gonna go with a little bit, more detailed. Is it a fancy brush? No, not really. But, it's good enough. So, we'll just get here. And if you get outside the lines a little bit, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, my dudes. You can, yes, if you want, you can go back over and wipe it off, redo. I mean, look, see, I got a little in there, but who cares? At the end of the day, if I don't want to wipe it off, who cares? It just adds a little character. I mean, these things are in battle. They're going to get scrapes and scratches, and who knows what other kind of stuff's going to happen. They're not going to be pristine. Not going to be pristine, Christine. It's not going to be pristine. So chill out, Christine. Chill out. You wanted it pristine, maybe you should have painted the minis. This is not very mini. It's quite a large mini. So I'm going to keep his eyes red, but everything else from the chin, above the chin and below the forehead, I'm going to make this iridescent copper. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to leave the jaw right there. There's this little break at the jawline. So I'm just going to go with it. I'm going to make the nose copper too, because that's what it shows. It shows the nose for shows. And then in here, that's it. And if you miss, am I even getting this? If you miss, who cares? If you miss a little bit, who cares? It ain't no thing but a chicken wing on a string, ding-a-ling. Meow! Hi, Thomas! Hi, buddy! How's it going, my dude? Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah, anything else? Okay. Alright. Sounds good. That's a good talk. So I'm just going to do those two. Oh, wait, no, he's got these little thingies, little Iron Man thingies. So right here, I'll do those two. That's it. If you get outside the lines, it ain't no big deal. I'll just go right in there. Good enough. We'll let that Okay, so to see what we did there, a little that, a little there, a little there, a little that. Okay. I think we could go with a darker blue, but because I like to go with a little brighter, try not to touch where you just painted like my dumbass just did. Since the wash is so dark, I like to go with a little darker blue. So we'll go, or lighter, I'm sorry, a little lighter blue. So I'm going to put it on and then after it dries on a couple of places to highlight, I'll go with the darker, and then I'll do the wash. So I'll just do this right here. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby, shake it. Yeah, I'm going to say that a lot, I think. Okay, so pretty much everywhere where there's blue on this, I'm going to go with blue. So I'm going to just do with the knees on down. We'll do that first. I think I'm going to keep I'll either keep the little springy springs and the gears. I'll either keep those red, or maybe I'll do the darker blue later. So, but at any rate, we're not sweating it. We'll just get down in there. If this stuff is real low, I mean, I could sweat it, or I could just say, huh, you know what? That's also red. I'll probably just say, oh, you know what? That's also red, but you can do what you want. You can do whatever you want. You want to take the extra time and do stuff that feels like you have to hold your breath to do, and you can do that. You can do whatever you want. I just like to play the game, so I want to get some cool color on here. And then throw some wash, polish it up real nice. That's it. That's all I want to do. And that will leave me more time to play the game. Play the game with the people I play the games with. Just kind of decide what you want to paint, what you don't want to paint. It's not that big a deal. At the end of the day, no one's going to show up at your house on game night or at your local game store, whatever it is. I'm not going to sit here and presume too much. Whatever you want to play. And be like, oh, that is not how that Sentinel would have been painted. Because at that point, you can be like, look here, Mr. or Mrs. or Ms. or Miss or I don't know, whatever. What do we call people these days? Person, man, Mr. Person. You know, if you don't like it, you do it. You do it. Because I'm doing my own thing here. Not Karen. I'm not Karen. You know? That's what you tell them. Alright, I'm going to do this side now. About the same amount. did the wrong thing. But you know what? We're not going to care. We're just going to fill it in. So when we do that, we could leave it there or paint it, but that means we'd have to paint even more. So I'm going to choose to paint less and just kind of just wipe it right off of there. Ain't no thing. It'll all get taken care of in the wash. I don't really care. It happens. I tell you what I am going to do is I'm going to switch to the wider brush. Just to speed this along a little bit. We will paint the backside blue. Don't it make my backside blue? Guys remember that song? Is that Linda Ronstadt? Don't it make my backside? Don't it make my backside? Don't it make my backside blue? Yeah, I think that's how it went. Might be showing my age a little bit. I got a little blue there. That's alright. It'll disappear later, I promise. Probably. Get the... So we kind of left that. We'll leave that too. So a lot of the flat stuff, we'll make it blue. The little gears and stuff, we'll either let it stay red or we'll paint a darker blue later. See, what we're not doing is sweating it. We're not sweating it. Places that don't get covered, we'll either come back with a second coat or we'll just say, who cares? I mean, they're fighting the mutants, baby. They're fighting X-Men. They're gonna get all scratched and dented and tore up from the floor up. You know what I'm talking about. We ain't sweating it. These Sentinels ain't sweating it. They're trying to GID. Oh, that's get it done, baby. That means get it done. See, we'd still be messing around with the, what's it called? The primer. Trying to figure out how to get it on thin enough so it doesn't ruin stuff, or, you know, waiting around, rattling our can. I ain't got time for that. Who's got time for that? Not me. Not me, said he. Okay. Alright, so this is going to be blue here. This is going to be blue at the chest and the back, but everything else will be. So we need a little bit more. Shake it, shake it, shake it, baby, shake it. More of this whatnot. Alright. We'll do the cod piece here. It's blue. You know what? I kind of want to get this. I don't know why. always fancy, but kind of want to get in there. I think I'm gonna leave that spine or just the color of the plastic. Let's do the shoulders. Do the shoulders blue. And I know I'm probably not doing a great job of getting this. I'll probably, if I figure out how to speed things up, I'll speed this up, process up, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just force you to sit here and watch me do this. Let's get this side. Running my damn mouth about 3 kinds of nothing. I'm gonna get through this. I'm not gonna be a little Warhammer at all. Probably. I'm sure it is a fantastic game. I'm sure it's got some really interesting things that it does. I'm just also sure that I am never going to play it. I might try some kind of war game thing in the future, but I mainly stick to just modern hobby games. Sometimes I have dice and stuff, but what I don't like are games that have just tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of rules. So any lifestyle game, like I used to love even Magic. Like I used to love Magic, but I can't play it any longer. It's just so many rules now, so many edge cases, so many keywords, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I like low rule sets because my brain, I got a lot of the old dopaminergic issues, and I just can't memorize stuff like that. If I could memorize that kind of stuff, I would have been a doctor or a lawyer or something. Definitely not a cowboy, though. My mama wouldn't have let me grow up to be one. But like those games, it feels like you've got the you win because either A, you get lucky, or B, you know the rules better. Like, I'm sure there's some people who enjoy that, but it's not me. I'm more into, figuring out a creative way to solve a complex puzzle. Problem solving. I'm more into problem solving than memorization. That's not really my jam, my dude. Okay, so the only other thing I'm gonna paint on this is the forearms down. And even then, I'm only gonna paint where it wants me to paint it. I'm just gonna kind of slap it on there. I'm not really sweating it. And, for all of you who are like, that is going to look terrible. Okay, maybe it will. We'll find out. We'll find out. But like I said, if somebody's got a problem with it, they're more than willing to, I'm more than willing to allow them to come paint my stuff for me. That's even better. If you want to paint my stuff for free, then I'll be able to play even more games. Learn the rules of more games and play more games while you're painting my minis. Thank you. I mean, I'm not going to say I don't enjoy this process. I do. I enjoy this process. There's that feeling of accomplishment. You're creating something out of nothing. But what I'm not going to do is beat myself up. I mean, I've got more things to beat myself up about. Like, why are you filming this like an a-hole? Why can't we see what you're doing? Why is nothing in focus? Like, those are real things to be beating myself up about. So at this point, I'm running out of that paint. I don't feel like putting more in. So, whatever I can get on this arm that's left in this dish is what we're going to get on this arm. I don't want to cover up that pretty little thing in there. Okay. I think that's good enough. Now, what I might do is, you know what, I'll throw some on here. I got a little left over on the bottom of the shoe. I'm gonna, wherever blue wants to go. See that? I'm not sweating it, dude. Don't sweat it. Just throw it wherever the blue wants to go. It'll get there. It'll go. It'll go. Like I said, if you really want to, you can go back and put another thin coat on there. It's gonna cover it, and it's still gonna look, it's gonna take away less detail than throwing that bunch of primer on there would have. Just sucks the detail right out of there. That's it, man. People worked hard to get all this detail. Company CMON pays a lot of money for people to make these sculpts, and then I paid a lot of money for CMON to send me these sculpts. I don't need to cover half the detail. That's hyperbolic. I don't need to cover any of the detail, even if it's a tenth of it. I paid for that tenth. Okay, so, and that's what it looks like, right? What did that take? Half hour? Holy goodness gracious. But that is the size of that's like 5 minis worth. So, while that's drying, it should only take a few minutes. I could come over with the darker blue or come back with second coats, but I'm not gonna. If I'm gonna wash it and then after I wash it, I'll look and see if I want to put another coat on of anything. Because we can do that. We can do whatever we want, man. But I've already got some wash made up right here. I use oil wash. And we're just going to slather the whole kit and caboodle in an oil wash. And then we'll let it dry for like, 12 hours. And then I do a little polish with yep, yeah, that's what it is. That's what you think it is. And then after that, I wipe it off with one of these. And if I really feel like I need another coat, I'll put another coat on after this, before the polish. We'll see. I'm going to get a bit of a bigger brush for this deal here. This thicker brush. And then, yeah. So, this is an accident waiting to happen, but I'm not prepared. I just started doing it because this was the dopamine my brain wanted to chase right now. So I'm just gonna, I don't even need the big googly glasses for this. We're just gonna cover it all, baby. Just want to make sure that it gets in all of the nooks and crannies. This is absurd. This thing's so big. This is ridiculous. Like, I can't even decide where to start. It doesn't really matter. The whole thing's getting covered, so. Some people like to use a brown or a gray. I like to use a black. I've always really loved like the cell shaded aesthetic from some video games and anime and stuff. But if you want it to be a little bit of a less dramatic shading, then you can make yourself a gray, and I'll have a video on how I make my homemade, because it's way cheaper. I mean, I use a lot of this stuff. Sometimes if like for like Awaken Realms models, their sculpts, their minis, you don't even, they're done so well, you don't need to put any kind of paint on them at all. They're built to take a wash, and to take a wash really, really well. But they do it on purpose because they have that sun drop that they do. It's so swanky. But even other good models, like from places that do really nice jobs. I'm gonna put a little thing on here. My wife really doesn't love when I get ink all over under my fingernails. Can you see what I'm doing at all? Okay. Let me try this. Nope. Oh, nope. Nope. Okay, Jer. Okay. Alright. I will say this, every once in a while I have to reshake the oil wash, because I dip it in just at the top, so I'm gonna have to reshake it right now. Sometimes it separates pretty quickly. Usually I would just do it in between each mini, but this thing's so darn huge, we're gonna have to do it during the mini. just, like I said, make sure, all you got to do is just make sure everything gets at least some wash. Oh, I really need to get a better setup if I'm going to continue to do this. Does anybody even watch these? Does anybody even care? I don't know. If they do, I'd like to give you a little bit better experience than what I'm throwing together right here. And what I'll do is I'll come back tomorrow and show you the next step. You know, am I gonna decide to do another layer of color anywhere, or am I just gonna start the polish? So, whew, this thing is huge. I've never done this system on anything this big before. Now I'm just gonna look it over, make sure I've got the wash all over, not missing any place. And I mean, it's not a huge deal if I do. You'll see in the polish step how it that's what it looks like for now. I'm gonna let that dry a bit, and then I'm gonna polish it real nice. Make sure that all the little nooks and crannies and crevices has some good shading, and then I will polish up the flats, paint the base, and be done, and hopefully not have to do any more painting. That's it. Alright. Thumbs up, peace out. We'll see you tomorrow, probably.